Good morning, everybody. I say morning. Silly of me. We don't have George this morning, and I'm going to share one of my favorite games. I have a half dozen games that I've had for decades and very meaningful to me. This one is Mr. Yang, Yilun Yang, Pro 7 Dan, it's strength of 9 Dan. And he's the master of basics. He plays fellow professionals, playing only very basic, simple moves and wins. So I love that. And he's playing Thomas Hsiang, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. This game was played, let's say, 40 years ago, maybe more. I could easily be more, but about that. Nowadays, we look at the strong amateurs, and there's countless professional level amateurs. There's 7 Dons or 8 Dons, and they beat pros every day of the week. When this game was played, that was not the case in the slightest. As a matter of fact, an amateur had never beaten a professional before. That might be the case. Yeah, I remember the day it happened. But Thomas was one of the original super strong amateurs. AGA 8 Dan at the time, and near professional level, which was saying a lot for back then. So we're going to be looking mostly at the white stones, and let's take a look. Again, we'll be looking at basic ideas and what makes them basic. White stones. Okay. Top is bigger than the bottom. I'm going to figure you guys know why that is. It has to do with the shimari facing the top. And black pinches. This, I'm pretty much aiming at the level 3Q up to 3 Dan. A lot of 3 Dans just don't know this stuff, have never heard this stuff. So it's not for the lower Qs, although I hope you enjoy it anyway. So how do we choose a Joseki? Let's just have a look at the possible Joseki choices. I think this covers it. These are all in the Joseki book. How do we choose? Let me get rid of these letters. I'm going to change the board a little bit. I'm going to make the upper left shimari white. And now as we ask the question again, let's look at jump and attack. And you see that this is perfect for white. White's using his shimari to attack with. Couldn't be better. There's a reason for white to be coming out here. If we go back to the board and we look at the same thing, well, we're not saying something's impossible, but hard to know what white's trying to accomplish here. Nothing obvious and simple, that's for sure. How about building a free wall? AlphaGo likes this. This is possible. A little aggressive, but especially considering modern Go, this is very possible. Back then, it would be considered not possible. So if we get back to the question, what does white want to accomplish here? Only one thing, settle. So white chooses the settling move, which is don't get surrounded, make sure I have a base. Black gets out. What I would want you to do is settle. And then black settles and we take it from there. Mr. Yang took it a little further. Let's check out the thinking. Remember, there's 3 things to accomplish. Our health, his lack of health, and big areas. So on this board, white wants defense. We also would like to play in the big area on top. We would also like to bother the B-stone. So it turns out this is a three-purpose move. It defends A because B can't go around doing much attacking because it's so weak. We just made black weak. It's harder for him to attack us. Therefore, we defended the A group. So a common method of defense is half measure, help from a distance. Next, Joseki is A or the aggressive B. He does B. A moment ago, we looked at A for settling, but black just messed with us on top, really limiting our options. Harder to settle, therefore, use the contact. And that's one of those basic principles. If you don't need to contact, don't, because it helps him. We do not want to help him unless we need to. Well, here, white needs extra help, so contact. Here, we would expect black fixes, white fixes, black defends his group, white defends his group. But black says, no, I know what that is, so I'm going to mess with you in this fashion. We do the ko because we know there are no early kos. There is nothing worth 2 moves away, or letting white capture 2 moves away will not be big enough. Okay, black has completely defended his A group, connected it to his B group, and taken the corner, and white's weak on both sides. Sounds like a good choice for black. Okay, white has 2 weak groups, A and B. Which needs more help? A needs more help. So we defend. Black. What is black doing here? First question, is black attacking white? Well, let's define attack. Attack means to remove an option of their health. Well, here, white can run along the side. Did black stop that? No. So black did not attack. Did black affect white? Oh, yeah. White would like defense. White doesn't need it, but white would like it. How about on top? I want to touch on that for a moment. Something Q players tend to do, even early dawn players. Check this out. Black attacks, white does some sort of defense. Logical. What you see is black does something, white says, oh, I better defend. Well, if you're not attacked, don't defend. Q players do this all the time. They get worried about a group that's not under attack. So don't defend groups that aren't attacked. Okay. If you recall, A defended B because it hurt C. Help from a distance. He does the same thing here. This pinches black, making it harder for black to attack white, while playing a big move on the right. Check this out. This is not the same move. This doesn't bother black very much. It is therefore not much of a defense. And this one doesn't bother black in the slightest, and doesn't help white on top at all. So it's got to be all the way. That's the nature of the move. One other way of looking at this is white's not interested in area 1. White is simply playing a big move, which may or may not develop into points. It's simply a helpful move in a big area. He's not talking about area one, only a big area and potential. Okay, White's really feeling it. White could have gotten out in that direction easily. So we're going to defend. We're going to run to the corner first. Can't get there. Side second. We can get there. And notice we can keep going. That's an important part of what makes an option for health viable. If it's a dead end, it doesn't count. Well, it counts for half a direction, which just so happens two half directions of health makes a whole direction of health, but that's a whole other subject. Okay. So White's move has a next move, making it makes it an honest move. Notice the next run, dead end. We can't get out that way. There's no way to get out. That leaves us to the center. I would expect everyone listening to play here. That's the running out move, right? Out we go. Well, we always want to do as much as we can. And Mr. Yang notices there's an underneath move. There's a diagonal here, which can be cut in two moves. That's a weakness. There's a cut at sorry, my screen messed up. I'm back now. There's a cut at Q13. It's a lot of weaknesses for black. So white can go a little faster. Now I love this sequence. Black says, I'm going to surround you. Every Q player on the planet is going to cut at A, which works. But the professional mentality is don't play a move unless you need to. White's goal is to run out. So he just runs out. I love this move. It shows professional thinking. Play the move that's necessary. Leave your options open. Black says, okay, I'll capture that stone. White says, great, I'll get out. Black says, on the right, I've got that cut. I'll fix my cut. White says, great, I need to get my group out. And I happen to have an Aji stone there. He can't. This is good. Let's read it out so you know what I'm going to say here. If black plays here, there's a number of things that can happen, one of which is, living over here or something. It's not the best way. The best way is to Atari, and now white's out. White might give up two stones. White might not give up the two stones. So white plays here, uses his Aji stones, very much out. Black says, I better fix my cut. White says, I better defend that stone in Sente. Very nice move. But it used to be that white could be getting out here. There's ways to get out here. And when this is here, harder. So white takes that as I'm under attack here. So defend. Make sure I can get out. Make sure I can get out. Okay. White. White's not alive. And so white needs to defend. Okay, first, take the eye, very nice, in Sente. Well, that's nice. Something to notice here. See how there's some, like there's a cut left behind? There's some weakness here. White has options for his top group around N18. There's some future there. Once this exchange happens, that's gone. Well, one of White's options just left. So White has two weak groups, A and B. Well, the B group can either live or get out. It's got Miai, so it's not urgent. The top group, behind enemy lines, really only one eye. So White defends. Side and corner before center. Corner, defend. Okay. Here's an important spot that I appreciate when I see him play it. Let's look at the A group. We just said it can live or run. Okay. Let's imagine a future where we'll just make up some moves. These aren't good moves. We're making up some moves here. Let me get on the right button. There we go. Again, we're just making up some moves. White can't run anymore. Or when White runs, it's into a black presence, giving black control of the situation. So it's true that White has Miai, but in the future, that could leave in the middle of a fight. So White can't play this game because there's a burden. He can't freely fight because he has a weak group. So White's going to defend his A group so that he can play the rest of the game. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, ask me. Just before White defends his group, there's a special characteristic of the bottom left. Let's look at it. The simplest Joseki on the books. What makes you think it's Joseki? White has the advantage here. White has how many points? Boom, boom, boom. Let me go ahead and count them visually, because there's also a lesson in game. Okay, so if we ask how many points does White have, we're not asking how many points White can get if he invests another move. Question is, how many does he have now? Okay, well, it's Black's move, right? That's the idea, is that if Black tries to take it away. Well, this is Black's Sente to take away those points. If White wants the points, he has to respond. This is Black's Sente. And this is Black's Sente. So how many points does White actually have? 2, 4, 6, 7. Back to the position. White has 7 points. How many, or 8, depending on how you quite want to look at it. How many does Black have? 5-ish? 4, 5, 6 tops? White has more points and Sente. But we consider it Joseki because on the bottom part of the board, who's going to get more points on the bottom? White. Why? Because White has 3 moves there and Black has no moves there. Clearly, White's going to be getting more. If we play the normal move, White's 2-stone wall, so to speak, on the right is going to help him get a lot of profit. So White's going to be getting extra profit here. So Black says, how about I give you a couple points and you can't attack me anymore? So that's the meaning behind this. And if White doesn't play it, Black's the one who's going to get extra points there. So White plays that first and then finishes up his group. Gets his second eye. 2 eyes. Very nice. Hopefully that whole monologue made some sense. So where do we stand? Black's A group is fine, except he's cut at B, which means there's two groups, the A group and the B group. Well, that cut could be pretty painful. Black would like to fix the cut. Any weak white groups? No. Any weak white stones? Yeah, the C stones, not great. So black's going to fix, getting ready to bother the C. Okay. Also getting some center. Notice if he contacted the stone, he's getting more points, but white's getting more too. And white's points are going to be in the corner, so no. So you just place here. White's job, defend the A stone and develop this whole corner as well as he can naturally. So come up, okay. Remember, there's a cut there, right? If I can play A, really bothering the black shape. On A, this is a professional level move. We need to talk about it. White can do the Atari at A, the Atari at B, the prepare at C, which brings up a double Atari and the cut. Black has weaknesses all over here. Well, but so does white. Yeah, but white's not after area 1. That was the premise to begin with. If white tries to take area one, there's the monkey jump, there's living in the 3-3. White can't take that area. So white's not taking the area. I just think it's brilliant, and I'm very excited when I see that. It's just such great thinking. Black says, okay, I'll fix. White says, you know, that left it's undercut. It's not big enough. So I'm coming over here, grow it, check out 07, the 07 stone, reaching right to that spot as we pressure black. Very attractive move. Fix, okay. We're not taking points. We're just strengthening our position. We don't want the left. Make him take it. Make him take it. Push him into that white stone. Right? This way, see how we're getting over concentrated there in a little white shape? That's, yeah, no. Put black in that shape. There's a Joseki here. We won't go into it. Black lives in Gote. White develops his little area. Okay. Here's a position we see a lot that some people don't know the rule about. There's two cuts, and there's a rule. Okay. Let's start with A. Notice black is thick on the right. Black is on the right of the white stone. Black's thick on the bottom of the white stone. It's terrible for white. That white stone is going to have a very hard time because black's thick on both sides. So we don't want to cut there. We'll cut at B. Gosh, that stone can do a lot of things. So between the two cuts, we know B's better. So we play B. If we don't know which is better, we don't play either. So that's the rule. In situations like this, never A, always B. And if you don't know, then neither. So the cut, the Atari, thicken it up. He does the Atari to get the Aji on the bottom. Makes sense. Capture the stone. If black runs out, let's look at it briefly. Let's do it. There's a lot of ways of doing it. Let's do it this way just We're not looking at the proper moves. I want to show you that black's bottom area getting weaker. The Aji A-stone still there. Troubles are mounting. So black just says, done. Now I can handle the bottom at no cost. Here's another professional move. They're all professional moves, but this is the one that, the type that lets you taste that difference between amateur and professional. I'm pretty sure everyone's going to be playing here. But check out the Aji here. I mean, it's just messy Aji. So he plays here. Very thick and strong. And we'll see some more benefit coming soon. Black gets out. White gets out. Black. White. Check that out. Beautiful use of the Aji stone. If black tries to cut, we get this incente, very useful. If black doesn't do anything, Atari, capture, Atari, fill up. The entire black group is back to being weak. So really nice move here. Black fixes. And white starts. Notice that helps the cut at D6, giving away sacrificing a stone. Hurts black. Beautiful move. Black. And white gets out. Getting out's the wrong term, because if you have a healthy group, getting out sounds like you're defending it. But there's other reasons of getting out. In this case, it's negating any black territory out there, and it's continuing the attack on the bottom black group. Okay. This move's always bothered me. It's hard for me because it leaves the cut. Why doesn't he play here and there's no cut and it's thicker for the attack? So you see my thinking. And my guess is because of the Aji left behind. If we save on this side, oh, that's massively large. If we save on the other side, now there's some troubling Aji. I'm not saying it works right now, but it's troubling. This thickens it up very nicely, makes it real points, and go from there. The peep. Come on down. If the capture would be big, messes with the eyes. Very nice. White gets out. You know, in this little area, I might have a couple of moves in the wrong order. The move placements are right, but I have a feeling I did some of the order a bit wrong, but you'll have to forgive me on that one. Black, white. White's about to deal with the bottom. Amateurs are going to play this move. He simply plays the move. He doesn't play the one that's not necessary. Then we go back, save our cut. And now, I would say this is the most interesting move of the entire game. If you try to think of, okay, where to next? Well, one might think of, let's get out of the center, continue the attack, make sure black can't get points there. Yeah, makes sense. What else? Come out this way, reducing the right. Okay. I would never find this move. The perspective to find this move that I like is there's still an opening move on the board. Everyone goes, what? Well, how far are the two A stones? There's three of them there, but two of them are a wall pointing up. How far do they go? They're supposed to go as far as B. So the B area is unfinished. Maybe the opening is the wrong term. There's a middle game move there. The last middle game move, I don't know how to phrase that correctly. So there's this whole thing about invasions and reductions, but let's check this out. Sorry, it's not there. It's there. Pretty casual move. Isn't White afraid of coming under attack? Well, check this out. Let's check out our options. Option 1. The black group is, this white move has made it pretty weak. He's going to have a hard time doing any serious attacking when he's pretty much behind enemy lines. White can run to the left because it's not quite a dead end. There's lots of options over there. He can run home to 2, out to 3, contact it. There's a lot of options here. It's so weird to see this white stone and think it's a healthy stone. That's something that is hard for me. Okay, black. Okay, contact. Then a move I would be afraid of. Really? White has no fear here. Tari. Neck. Threaten to kill and live in the corner. That's too big. Save. That threat peeps the cut. Black saves the cut. And white. Is that all the way alive? Probably. Sure looks like 2 eyes. But once this is here, white goes ahead and makes it a healthy group rather than a barely alive group. I loved that sequence. I think it's a very beautiful sequence. There's a little peep. And then here, notice this is black building this wall towards the center. White says, I don't care about your center. Oh, that's huge. Let me remove these marks. Check out the center. Wouldn't you be afraid of the center? I would be. I would play a center move. So we're going to learn why this endgame move, it's not even double sente, it's reverse sente, big. I mean, what? 2, 4, 5, 6 or 7 points, something like that. Black stops white from coming out, just running out. And now white can just run out. Why? Because if black cuts Atari, and black dies on the bottom. It's beautiful. So this is where I stopped recording, and white wins by between 15 and 20 points. So I've always considered this a special game, and I've gone over it countless times and learned a lot each time. Okay, I hope that was educational and a little bit fun. And we'll see you all in the future. Bye.